Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porker's Corner, the biggest gobbling sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. Isn't that right, Tony Bellew? After eating all them mince pies in Asda at Liverpool, you're going to save some for other people, Tony. Don't be so greedy. Right. Big Meech, aka Anthony Joshua, out of a P. Now, he's walking about grinning like a Cheshire cat. Do you know why that is? Because he's had everything on his lap all his life. Everything. Gets it landed on his lap. Yeah. The gods have looked down on him and Eddie Hills, his paymaster, and have said, you don't have to fight Wilder next because let's have it right. He's not been right since he was more or less told a bit back, look, you're going to have to fight Wilder before you die. Ever since then, he's been squeaking. You know what I mean? Shitting bricks he has. Can't sleep at night. Parker's stepped in, done Wilder for him on points. So he doesn't have to fight Wilder now. That's why every time you see him in media or on social media or in interviews, he's grinning like a Cheshire cat. Grinning, he is. Big old grin on him. Because he don't have to get in there with Wilder. So it is what it is. Bricktop saying there's another big Saudi show in March now. The smart money is going to be on Ergovic and Joshua, isn't it, really? Because Usyk and Fury are supposed to be fighting 17th of April. That's next month. So if they're fighting next month, and then after that fight happens, the IBF belt becomes vacant, well, it's going to be Ergovic and Joshua. And then I just think Joshua, who does he really need to fight? Then there's only really Fury left for him to fight, isn't there, really? Hey, he could go fight as many other people as he wants and come back to Fury when he wants, couldn't he? Because do you think that Eddie's going to get that IBF and then go running for the Fury money? They still want to be known as world champion boxer, won't he? Milking the belts, dealing with his mandatory obligations and voluntary obligations and all that nonsense. They'll milk that to death. Don't you worry about that. There'll be a few Eric Molina's dug up. Hey, listen, they could even dig Dominic Brazil up for Joshua. They're already trying to dig the Stinkinator up for him, aren't they? Pop, pop, bang. So, listen, at the end of the day, Bricktop and Eddie Hills, they're not having to put these Saudi events on. The promoters are not having to do that. The Saudis are doing it all for them. Imagine that. Your fighters are going on shows that have got the best promotions and best of everything. You know, best, what's that stuff called? That Cannon conveyor belts do for all Eddies and Bricktop shows. They have all that fire breathing stuff and hydraulics and this and that and riggings and lights and all this and dim this and fancy that, don't they? They're doing all that, aren't they, out Saudi? They're paying for everything. Bricktop and Eddie Hills and all the rest of them. They're there getting wined and dined and waited on hand and foot. Like that royal family. They'll be thinking to themselves, oh, we've had it off here. And all we've got to do is pretend to be friends with Bricktop. Hey? It is what it is, isn't it? But I bet Bricktop and Eddie Hills are loving it. Eddie's saying Parker's earned the AJ rematch after beating Wilder on points. Now, nobody really bought into that fight all them years ago anyway, did they, really? It was a stinky affair, wasn't it? It was the first time that anybody had took Joshua at distance. And this is the first time anybody's took Wilder at distance. And, he's not dropped him, innit? I know Stavern took him distance, didn't he? But he dropped him when they fought second time, didn't he? In first round. Wilder's been took to points, hasn't he, by Parker? And he didn't do a good job on Parker, did he? He got beat comfortably. So Eddie's saying Parker's earned the AJ rematch. Gee, they're not going to go for Parker. They've just been in with Walling. They fought Walling twice and sparred him. Now they're going in with Parker, who Joshua's done 12 rounds with. You know, I think he sparred him as well. So I think he sparred him. I'm not sure on that. I think he has. But look, at the end of the day, familiarity, innit? They're not going to put him near danger, not the golden goose. You know, they put Wilder near Parker, and that were a little bit dangerous, but I had Wilder to come through and blast him out, me. But, you know, it turns out that 3 minutes that Wilder had in that 27-month period, he only had just under 3 minutes that Elenius did him in under a round, didn't he? That wasn't enough for it. He was timing my way out. So, to be fair to Walling, he's come out with no excuses. So, good luck to him, Walling. But I'm half expecting him to stand on a table and say he's toast, or like the Haymaker did in Germany. I mean, you wouldn't put it past him, would you? You remember after Vladimir bashed him up in Germany? Stood on table, didn't he? And went, yeah, my little toes bruised. So, craziness, isn't it? What else has been going on? Tank's in talks, isn't he, to fight a 13-2 guy who's ranked 19 on box strike. What is all that about? They're throwing all these big names around Tank, and then he's going to fight that Jose Valencia, box rec 19, 13-2. What is that? I don't know. I know Eddie's trying to talk up a fight between Jay Opatia and Bivol at £200. Oh, it's a big jump that from light heavyweight to cruiser, isn't it? Big jump. So it'll be an interesting one, won't it? But after he's fought Baturbia, they probably both might go up to a cruiserweight, or at least Bivol will. I doubt Baturbia will, because he'll be 40, won't he? Around about that time. Bit too late, won't it? But this is how I look at it, right? It must be threadbare for Tank Davis to get a fight if they're trying to get him Jose Valenzuela. You know, that's how I look at it. And AJ and Parker, are we slipping back into old mode? I thought this was supposed to be next gen and new ideas and groundbreaking and hashtag game change. We keep hearing, don't we? And we've got Eddie Hills talking Parker and Parker and Joshua. I know Parker's there on merit because he beat Wilder, but Wilder were inactive on it. But we have to give Parker credit. Nobody said anything about any activity before. Although Julian did, but we all expected Wilder to just savage him, didn't we? So, okie dokie. One peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. There you go. Booyaka. Thanks for sharing as well.